Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you, leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we do have the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords is talking about a never-ending nightmare. Waking up in the wee hours of the morning and to the same old nightmare. And this can represent, being too worried to be able to sleep properly, that kind of energy. This card can also represent between 2 and 4 in the morning is quite often when we will get inspiration from the Holy Spirit. And in our dreams, sometimes our ancestors will show up, that kind of energy. So this is talking about being in a possibly receiving enlightenment as to your situation and how to end it. This blanket on the bed is representing, there's cosmic symbols on it, and that's representing that the universe has you covered, but you're probably going to have to go get out of bed and do something about it. That's the kind of energy. All right, so we've got the King of Pentacles to start with here. The King of Pentacles is he's in charge of Pentacles. That's the element that he is representing. And the Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional. And, it's money, of course, is a big part of that. So it's represented by coin. But you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle you want to live. So this is more about lifestyle. And so the King of Pentacles is really highly respected for his business acumen and his ability to, understand how business works and to empower others in reaching their goals. This would be someone that would be in the banking industry. It would be someone high up in the banking industry if that was the case. It could be a financial advisor, accountant energy. If they would be high up, they would definitely be a partner in whatever firm they were in. And this is also, it could be the head financial advisor for a corporation. It could represent, the minister, the finance minister for a country. That type of energy. Also, the Pentacles represent Earth, so they can quite often represent the energy of real estate. And so real estate brokers, mortgage brokers, etc. And sometimes this can represent entrepreneurial energies, so someone who's just really running a really lucrative business. Wow, and then we have some more Pentacles coming in. And so this is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is ultimate fulfillment in Pentacles. That's the most that you can get in the tarot. And this is talking like the ultimate lifestyle. So it's raining money. You have the mansion where you want to live. Yeah, the perfect partner, and also the 2.5 children and the pets. As well, you have the time to visit with your neighbors and enjoy the experience rather than just having to work all the time to keep it. This actually talks about both of these cards talk about generational wealth, like a lot of money, a legacy that you can, pass down to your children and your children's children. And then we have the moon energy here. The moon is talking about illusions. We do have a new moon coming up on the 18th, and so in a few days here, you're probably already starting to feel that energy. The new moon is in Pisces, and this Piscean energy, it really supports making, committing to your personal goals, and it's really good energy for accepting, if you can accept imperfections in yourself and others, so things don't have to turn out absolutely perfectly, and you may find that you're feeling really creative at this time as well. It's really good for your imagination and visualization. And the biggest asset you can have at this time is an open mind right now. There's a lot happening on the planet. And so a lot of people are feeling rather discouraged at this time. But keeping an open mind is, the best possible asset you could have right now. We have the moon. And the moon is representing hidden secrets and kind of, what's behind the scenes that maybe you aren't aware of. This is representing this lobster is coming out of the water, which represents emotional waters, volatility, and determined to get on his path and go, up into the mountain, into the hills there. But he has to have the courage to pass by this domestic dog and this wolf. So the domestic dog and the wolf are kind of representing the energy of, if you have, maybe you've been too domestic or not domestic enough. So, maybe you've been taking a walk on your wild side and it's time to come back. That kind of energy. Or maybe you need to take a walk on the wild side. And so this is the energy of the Two of Wands is coming in, and this is talking about like a big fish in a little pond type feeling. The wands represent action, and this person is standing at the top of their turret of the castle, and they're overlooking their domain, and they're feeling like successful and clearly very successful here, but wanting to expand their horizons. I'm getting a sense that that maybe some of this money has been passed down to this person, and maybe they want to do things in a different way than their parents did, or maybe move to another location. Or sometimes this can represent an entrepreneur wanting to franchise their business, maybe take it across international waters. We have the water there. It can represent also the energy of being passionate and wanting maybe to be in a couple, like having met someone and not wanting to be single anymore. We have the Queen of Wands. Well, the Queen of Wands would fit that bill. The Queen of Wands is considered the sexiest queen in the minor arcana. She is a natural beauty with a sunny disposition, represented by the sunflower here. The sunflower turns with the sun. And so this is basically someone who follows her happiness. Basically, she follows like like the sunflowers follow the sun, and sun represents God. So it's staying on the sun is the happiest card in the deck. So it's saying she does what makes her happy, and she is very good at this veil behind her. Represents the veil between the spiritual realm and the physical, and also the difference between your intuitive energy as opposed to your logic. And so she can use all of that and bring it together so that she can find creative solutions to almost pretty much any problem. She's got this little black cat here. A lot of people wouldn't get a black cat because they have superstitions about it, but she doesn't believe in that. She's like, I'll find a solution for it. She likes her cat. I've got a little cat on my lap right now, Stella, and she's purring away here. The cat's purr raises the vibration, and I figure she really takes her job seriously. She's got a strong purr happening. You might not be able to hear it though, because she is I've got a noise canceling mic on her, and she's down on my lap. We have Justice coming in for something. So Justice is representing, from the spiritual realm coming down to earth. And this figure she has the sword in her right hand, and her right foot is peeking out here, out of her robe. So this energy represents being in the energy of, ready to implement justice at a moment's notice as soon as she's given the word. And this is talking about, it also can be redemption from karma. So a lot of people feel that they think karma is punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect from your actions or inactions. And the energy, you could have direct karma that it's because of something you actually did directly. And sometimes you can have indirect karma, and that can come from your ancestors and even your descendants, as well as people you're associated with, that kind of energy. And then there's also the karmic spaces that are very easy to fall into for all humans. And so this energy is about, when we come to Earth, one of the main goals is to clear karma, and especially if sometimes, we might have ancestors on the other side that weren't able to clear their karma, and they're cheering us on, breaking generational curses that are holding the whole bloodline back, so that the whole bloodline on both sides of the veil is operating at optimum potential. We have lovers coming in here. So this is saying that we have a lot of pentacles here. We've got some illusions around some in our life, but everybody does these days. I mean, it feels like the whole world has been under an illusion when we have the files that have come out, the 3 million files. And it feels like we've been living a life of illusion, and we've got the Iran war right now, and we just have a lot going on as a planet. It's a lot. It certainly is. And there's an energy here of a divine partner coming in. So the cloud in between them represents, it's probably someone you don't know, or it's someone that you haven't been in a relationship with, or but it could be someone you've met in the past or whatever, but never really had a relationship. Okay, so I'm building a pyramid here, and this bottom line is talking about overcoming this. The whole energy for the reading is overcoming this nightmare, or it can be more focused on implementing now the information that you received in the wee hours of the morning from God, from the Holy Spirit, and through your dreams, and that this is the energy now that you have to work with to be able to bring some sort of justice into this situation, because we have justice here. It looks like there's a new lover coming in, and this could be your energy. You could be the new lover, or you could be attracting a new lover. The King of Pentacles might be, we have a king and we have a queen here. So we'll see here what's going on. We have the shift disturber, okay, on the justice. So the shift disturber is a walking contradiction. There's 2 swords planted here, and then he's got these 5, and he looks like he's stealing them from the village here. And but he's not a thief in the night, because this is broad daylight. So it implies, like, the swords represent your mental intelligence and your thoughts, and how you express them through words, whether that be written or in verbalized. And so the swords are, for whatever reason, he's planted 2, and he's sneaking off with these other 5. He's in broad daylight. Sometimes this can represent white collar crime, because it's happening right in the daylight, like right before, like he's not sneaking around at night with a flashlight and, a burglar mask on. He's looking over his shoulder at the past, and he has to look over his shoulder because he's in this shifty energy, and he's on his tiptoes sneaking in broad daylight. He's moving forward, but he's not looking where he's going. And look how he's carrying these swords. He's carrying them like, who carries swords like that? I mean, if he trips, it's so dangerous. Like, he could just cut his hands right off. So it's kind of like, if he's that reckless with his own energy and his own, person, then, how reckless would he be with yours? So it's that kind of energy. Something's, shifty about the situation. That's coming in like that. And then we have a reality check coming in. So this is the Tower coming in. And the Tower represents a reality check. And it's talking, when the Tower hits, it's always like at the most inconvenient time. That's just the way the Towers are. The energy is, the universe may have been whispering to you, you need to look into this, and you don't. And then the universe gets the frying pan out and whacks you over the head. And you're like, ouch. And the universe says, take care of it. And you say, I will next week. I've got to get my taxes done this week. Okay. But you don't. And then the 2x4 hits and you still don't. So then the lightning has to strike your tower, and like now it's on fire and you're falling out of it, and the top has fallen off, and It's, one person's like, you're falling through the night sky, and one of these people is really shocked, and the other one's kind of like, oh, I kind of thought this was going to happen. So this is a reality check, so that you have to take care of whatever this is. The universe is forcing it. And the King of Swords is coming in here. So we have 2 kings here already. Sometimes when we have the same kings, like when we have more than one king in a reading, it can sometimes represent the same person that is displaying the qualities of each of those kings. Sometimes they're different. We're not sure yet. We'll see. And this is the King of Swords. It represents the energy of someone who's a professional, who uses his mind to earn his living. So, and his thoughts. So that we express our thoughts and from our mind and through words, and that could be written word or it could be spoken. So quite often this can represent like politician energy. If it is someone that's running a country, it could be an actual king. This could represent like a president, a prime minister. It would be someone high up. Could be, ministers in the federal government. Someone high up in that area. It could be a surgeon, actually, because of the knife. And also it could be a best-selling author, maybe an online influencer. What else do we have? Oh, and the legal field. So this could represent lawyers and, it would be higher up, like the head prosecutor, that kind of energy. Sometimes it can represent like the chief of police. It could lawyers for sure. If it's a lawyer, it would be a lawyer that's in a well-known firm, and they would be a partner. Like there would be someone higher up, someone that's at the top of their game here. And the King of Swords understands the power of words and uses words powerfully. And this energy is, the king understands that words can uplift people or they can be used as weapons. And also, actions do speak louder than words. And so if you give your word and then you don't act upon it, then you just have empty words. So we have the energy of the 8 of Pentacles. This has been coming in a lot. A lot of people hard at work right now. There's a lot of shift happening in the economies around the world. There's just so much going on with this war now. The price of oil and gas has gone sky high, and it just seems like there's a lot happening with the economies around the world, etc. But this is representing someone who's really hard at work. And so when we're talking about being hard at work, this is the only card where the person is actually working on the physical coin and pounding it out, basically. So this represents someone who's very focused, making money. And that's what your number one focus is. And that would be, we have a lot of money here, so that could be why that is. But this is also generational wealth, so it would probably indicate someone that's had, something to start with, like, a trust fund or something like that, possibly, because this is a lot of money. And so this represents maybe starting a project and you're on the 2nd pentacle and you have 6 to go, or you already have 6 completed, you're working on the 7th and you have 1 more. Sometimes, like with this energy here, like because we have justice and we have this shifty energy and we have this energy, and we have the reality check, the Tower coming in. Sometimes this can represent making money illegally, like actually making money, that kind of energy. Counterfeit, what else? Forgery, identity theft, that kind of energy. So then we have the Magician coming in. So the Magician is an energetic upgrade. The Magician is bringing from the heavens his wand and bringing that down to earth to create a beautiful garden on the planet, to add to the beauty of the planet. All these tools on the bench here represent that you have everything you need to be able to move forward. And the infinity symbol above his head is saying you have infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. And so to bring in your thoughts and turn them into physical matter. He is wearing an Ouroboros around his waist, which is a snake biting its tail, which is warning you like to shed what you no longer are using, like what what is not necessary in your life. And it's significant for at this time because on the 17th of February, we moved from the year of the snake into the year of the fiery horse energy for the Chinese New Year on February 17th. And we have, so that's a major shedding of skin. And we have, some heartache here. And so this is talking about heartache. And when you first look at this, it's disturbing. Like there's 3 swords in someone's heart. When you look again, though, you realize the heart's big for the size of the swords. So this, it's bad enough, but like these are more like nails or pins. And so, it's something maybe this person can recover from. So this is talking, quite often, this will be talking about heartache in matters of romantic love. Sometimes like a third party involvement, stake driven through the, through the couple kind of energy. And what else here? Sometimes it can talk about gossip, slander, like that kind of energy, harsh words being spoken. But this is talking about a heartbreaking decision needing to be made. And I feel like it has something to do with this energy here. And the tower, of course, hitting is why this energy is here. So we'll just keep going and see. So this is kind of the situation and the tools. This is the obstacles. So someone has a bit of a broken heart here. We have the Page of Swords coming in. The pages would work for the king and queen generally around 7 to 14. They would start, like they would come from the outlying families that were higher society, and they would work for the court. And their main job would be to deliver communication within the palace walls and in the court. And then if they stuck with it and they were, really doing well at it, by the time they were 21, they might be considered to be put up for knighthood, and if they could afford a horse. And then they would be traveling far and wide and defending the palace and all of that kind of energy. So each of the pages has their own element that they are delivering them, and they represent communication coming in. And this, the Page of Swords is representing someone who has a lot of youthful exuberance. He's not looking at his element, and he's the only one who's not. He already knows what the question is, and he's looking now for a creative solution or an answer. And he is very good at thinking outside the box. So he understands that this sword is double-edged, and that you need to use your logic and your intuition to have creative solutions, just like the Queen of Wands knows. And so he is, looking into the future. Okay, now what would be, some of the possibilities of answering this question, or how can we solve the problem, that kind of energy. And when you look at him, he almost looks like he's about to take a golf swing. And so that, golf is a very mental sport. So, when you're golfing, you're not really golfing against the people around you. You're trying to beat the last best score that you had on that court, on that course, or on anyone. It's more of a mental sport, and being able to keep yourself in control. If you have a bad hole, like you don't throw your club, and that, like, if you have a really bad first hole, that the second one you could get a hole in one because you've disciplined your mind not to spiral downward if things don't go your way. This also can talk about like being like a fresh thought that you have, like an aha moment. Aha, I know what I'm going to do. And you see the magician, he's pointing at the information coming in from the Page of Swords, and he's also pointing at the moon. So he's talking about, it could maybe he has some information about some secret that, or illusion that's being caused by the moon, or maybe that you will have if you're using your intuition, maybe the answer will come to you on this, like that's in 3 days here, that moon coming up. So that kind of energy. And so in the old days, of course, the communication would be be in person, but in this energy these days, we could have it be like a letter in the mail. It could be a phone call, a text message, email. You could maybe see something, a message on social media, go to an event that was advertised on social media and meet someone who is the perfect person that you needed to talk to, kind of energy. Maybe this new lover that's coming in. It's that kind of energy. And then we have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is a mental prison. Excuse me. I should have grabbed water before I sat here. I've been doing a few readings in a row. So this is talking about there's 8 swords here, and this is like a mental prison. You see, she's bound up and she can't see the answer. She's blindfolded. But really, there's nothing stopping her from just walking forward. Now, the water here, in tarot, water represents emotions. And I feel like when she started, there was way more water. And I think she's worked through 7 of these thoughts that are bothering her. But she's got one here, and that's maybe the one that she's thinking about, okay, what action am I going to take? Because now her right foot is stepping on dry land. She still has her left foot in a puddle here, but it's very shallow. So it's not saying that her emotion is shallow, but there's way less emotion there. And so she's getting ready to move forward. And sometimes this energy can be part of the reason feeling duty bound to someone or something, and that you just don't know what to do about it, that kind of energy. And we have the Three of Wands coming in. So this is very similar energy to this card, only it's the next step, basically. So this sometimes can talk about either moving into a couplehood, like if you've met someone, or it could talk about leaving a couple and going forward as a single person in this energy here, because we have the heartbreak here. And so this could be you went through heartbreak and now and you are single, and now you've decided to become a couple with someone new, like this new lover coming in, this divine partner, that kind of energy. Hopefully there was enough space to heal from it. So this person, though, it doesn't have to be about love. This can actually just be about wanting to move forward and be just expand your horizons. This is water here. I know it looks like sand, but it's just the sun is shining on it, so it's yellow. There's ships sailing by, and so this guy is like, yeah, I want to hop on one of them babies and go for an adventure. It's that kind of energy. And then we have the Three of Pentacles coming in. So the Three of Pentacles is saying that you're in an elevated position. You're being recognized for mastering your skill set. And so this is really awesome energy for sometimes, like this person is a sculptor and he's doing all this stonework, right? So he's a stonemason, and this energy is talking about, there's 2 people here wanting to collaborate with him. They have plans in their hand and they're admiring his work. And so this is talking about you're in an elevated position because you've mastered your skill set, and other people are noticing, wow, that person's really good at what they do. And usually this is sort of like a unique talent maybe that other people don't have, like an artist who can do this beautiful stonework, or it could be an actor and these are directors, or an actor and actress and they want you to play the leading role. It could be an energy of having a beautiful voice and record producers wanting to sign you up. It could be your pro athlete kind of energy, and these are scouts that are coming and they want to sign you up for their team. You could have just received a degree and from university, and we're the valedictorian, and you have all these offers coming in for positions. This could represent a scholarship coming in if you're just looking to enter college. And maybe you're a really good athlete, and you know, it's that kind of energy where you could earn a scholarship to go to a university. So a lot of really good energy here. You have to be careful with this energy though, because sometimes what this card is saying is be really careful who you sign up with, because it's kind of like an energy, and it's sitting on this tower and here kind of on the justice kind of end. And this energy can be like, you know, it might be a good deal for someone else and not for you. And it's also talking about, and sometimes this can represent secret society energy, and in particular like Mason energy. And so the thing about that is a lot of times when people sign up with that, you know, you hear about it a lot in the music and you know, industry, and in the Hollywood, you know, where people sign deals and then they end up being really breadcrumbed and everybody else makes the money, or they end up having to take roles they don't really want, or you know, having to work the hours that they really don't like. You might have a young family or something and you want to only work 40 hours a week, and they want you to work 60. And so when it comes to secret society energy, it's always about the group, and that's the most important thing. So when you sign up with them, then you're signing into their rituals and their the way their expectations of how it's going to be done, how much you're going to get paid, you know, the time frame, how many hours you're going to work, where you're going to live, all of that energy. So this is saying that you are in an elevated position here, and you have the power right now to make the best deal for yourself. So keep that in mind when, you know, with this energy. And then we have the Knight of Cups coming in. So it looks like this new love is coming in. The knight this is the knight in shining armor that you read about in the romance novels, dressed to the nines, charming. When he brings in an offer, it's usually genuine. Sometimes it's an apology of some sort, but I feel like with this energy here, you haven't really met this, or if you have, well, it could be an apology. Maybe something happened and you never went out then, and then maybe you ran into each other. Like I said, you know, you could have gone to an event or something and there he was, and you haven't seen him for 20 years or something, you know, like that kind of energy. And this is representing now being on the Fool's, going on a new journey. So you've reached a certain point in your life now where this cycle is over here, of all this concern. I feel things are starting to move along in the direction you want them to. And this energy is talking about starting a brand new cycle. So the Fool starts at the 0 point, and there's 21 cards in the Major Arcana. It's not necessarily that you do all of the 21 cards in a cycle. And some people only do one cycle in their lifetime, and some people do lots of cycles. It just depends on, you know, the type of person you are, how adventurous you are, and just how life plays out, basically. So this is talking about a brand new cycle starting, and I feel it starting with this energy here, with someone new, the new energy. And then this is talking about, yeah, I feel like you're in an energy where if you've had this before, and there's been a tower, and you've been here, and you've been praying and asking, you know, God, this is representing wanting to get out of rough waters and move on to calmer shores. So you want to live a more calm lifestyle, and you want to have peace with your partner, is what that's representing. And this person and this small child are together, and there's no baggage here. And quite often that can represent you healing your inner child and really, you know, wanting to be strong in that way, like making a concerted effort to go inward and really heal from this last relationship. That's what this card represents. And then heal with it, and then before you get into another relationship. So this cycle is like moving in, and this is, you know, the conveyor of this boat has this long rod, and he has to dig really deep to get out of that rough water and get moving on to the calmer water. And so that represents that energy of you having to dig deep and really do the inner work that you need to do if you want to have a different result, you know, in your next relationship. You have to take responsibility, like, for what could you have done differently, even, that type of energy. And we have the Emperor coming in. So the Emperor is talking about someone who has all four kings rolled into one. And that's that energy when I said sometimes the king can represent, when you have more than one king, it can represent the same person, but how they've gone on their path to overcome the same kind of energy and become an emperor. Because the emperor is about having experience. So the emperor and empress, they have all the qualities of the kings and queens from the minor arcana rolled into one person. And so the energy is about, the emperor is all about performance, that kind of energy. It's about, he wears his armor underneath his robe. He's ready to get up at a moment's notice to tackle any opportunity. He's wise beyond, someone that a lot of people look up to and respect. He's really wise. He has, very intelligent. He's someone that is also, really sexy and really passionate about love and has a really good grip on his emotions. He might have been fiery when he was younger because he's an alpha male, but he's not, he's learned to control that aspect of himself. And so this is talking about having a lot of passion for life and having a real sharp mind and being just really a really interesting person. And whatever he does, he's at the top of his game. It doesn't matter what it is. Could be, anything. And we have the Wheel of Fortune turning. So the Wheel of Fortune is talking about you now, or I feel like you might be with this Emperor energy. This might be your energy here. And this is representing the Emperor energy. That's and remember, the Queen of Wands can be, she could be a male or a female in the feminine energy, just as the Emperor could be a male or female. But a lot of times, I'm feeling it's more you're a female, and this is the Emperor is this new lover that's come in. And it's a big upgrade over this dude. That's the energy for sure. And so this is talking about the Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. And it's the past, the present, and the future coming together. And actually on the one wheel here are the letters of the Hebrew letters that are the name of God. And the name of God is Tetragrammaton, which is a geometric symbol. And it's a mathematical equation basically that follows the phi ratio, which is 1.618. And so it's like if you add the letters of the letters of God in different combinations, and they're each assigned a number, they all add up to being very close to the phi ratio. And the phi ratio is 1.618, and it's talking about the different size boxes that are proportionately a little bit bigger, and they're nesting within each other, and they fit in perfectly. And so they represent the perfect order of manifestation in nature. And for instance, tornadoes and hurricanes, they follow what's called the golden spiral, and that's those nesting boxes in a certain formula. And we have the golden ratio, which talks about a lot of fruits and vegetables and the way that the branches grow on trees. They're in a certain order, in a certain number. Almost everything that is manifested in nature follows this phi ratio and this golden ratio. For instance, you look at the proportions of someone's face. They are slightly different faces, but generally, the forehead is a certain amount of space, and then from the forehead to the eyebrows, and then the eyebrows down to the bottom of the nose, and the nose down to the chin, follow kind of the same kind of proportion. The head on the upper body, and the upper body on the lower body. The length of your upper arm to your lower arm, to your hand, to your fingers. Excuse me. I really need a glass of water, but I've got a purring cat on my lap, so I don't want to get up and get one. I'll just have to hang in there. Okay, so it's talking about the perfect order of God's divine plan for you coming in, and that the chaos is now going to be over. This energy is safe to be in, and that's what it's talking about. And perhaps that's what you're looking for, is having that order in your life, and like not wondering, oh, what is my partner going to do next, and are they really going to show up, and that kind of energy. And so this is talking about this cycle here being over. Like, and this is kind of this energy here is talking about sabotage. So it's talking about having like been stabbed in the back at least like 10 times, and this person is left for unalive. This is like a lot of energy being directed this way. So I feel like it wasn't just about the love affair. It was about maybe someone got involved with you because they thought you had more, like a lot of money, and wanted that. There was illusions around it, and just because of the energy of the sneaky energy here, and the possibly making money illegally, and then this energy coming in. Sometimes this energy can represent what they call the slow dagger, which is when, if you've signed a contract or something with the secret society energy, then if you don't fulfill it, then it's a serious thing for them, because the group energy is the most important. So it can represent that kind of energy. There is his right hand is in the form of a blessing here. So this does say that this is ending this cycle. But it's a blessing in disguise. But even this card here can sometimes represent a physical prison. We have the justice, we have the thievery kind of energy, the secret, the illusions here, making money, which can be illegal. And this is a lot of money. Like, this is the ultimate, right? So it's like millions and millions of dollars kind of energy. So it could have something to do with that. We'll just keep going here. We have, your new life is launched, basically. It's already been conceived. It's happening, like it's on the spiritual realm for sure. And this is just representing moving off from this energy now. The wheel is spinning in your favor. Sometimes this can represent conception, like actual conception. And that could be, like maybe wanting to start a family with your new lover, that kind of energy. And then we have the Empress. There we have it. The Empress. Yeah, like the Emperor. See, now you both match each other's energy. So as soon as this energy, this cycle comes to an end, you're launching your new life with the Emperor. That's what it's coming up. So now the Queen of Wands energy is now an Empress energy, and the Empress is said to be pregnant with possibility. So this can sometimes represent the pregnancy card, and it's following this conception here. So that could be the energy, like you're ready to have a family, and you want to have a family with the Emperor. And then we have this energy of celebration, but this is a celebration. The Three of Cups here, this energy, I feel, is talking more about this energy and what happens. Like, this is your new life, being with the Emperor, and possibly conceiving a baby. You're on a whole new journey. You're on calm, like it's calm. It's what you want. And this is the energy kind of from before. And I feel like the reason I don't like this card is they're celebrating, but no one's looking at each other. And the cups are about love, and quite often romantic love. Excuse me. And so this energy can be talking about, like, because we had this heartbreak here. This could be talking about, one of these could be the third party. And they might be celebrating because you're off with the other person, so now they can have your partner, which is fine. Whatever that energy is, they can have him. But the thing is about this card is none of them are looking at each other. So when they're not looking at each other, when you're toasting, in a lot of cultures, particularly in Europe, if you don't look someone in the eye when you're toasting them, it brings 7 years of bad luck to your romantic life. So it kind of defeats the purpose. So I feel like they're celebrating the fact that you left, and now they can have what your leftovers, basically. And yeah, because this new cup of love has come in for you. And look at, there's the piece of dove, and this is like an everlasting love. So this is representing they're happy too, because, you know, they maybe they suit each other more. And then this is conviction beyond a doubt. So this is that you know what you know, and this is the path that you wanted to take, and maybe this is the path that they wanted to take. So it works out okay, you know, that kind of energy. This is conviction beyond a doubt, and it also can be talking about, you know, he has one boot on one foot and one shoe on the other. So sometimes this can be like straddling two worlds, and it's kind of like saying, you know, you used to, the partner that you had, they're happy with that partner now, and you're happy with your partner now. But this card can also say conviction beyond a doubt, as in like a prison sentence. So if there was any illegal activity here, it's saying that you're going to still have this peaceful energy, and they'll have to deal with their energy. What happened behind your back when you were in this kind of energy. So going from the past to the top and back down again, we have the King of Pentacles energy. So there's a lot of money here. And then we have the heartbreak coming in, and it looks like there's a third party in the relationship. But then there's a breath of fresh air, because the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and this energy that was keeping you here, you probably have found out the truth by now. And but your new life launches right after that, and because you've been through all of this, your vibration is raised to the level of an empress now. So you have attracted this emperor, which is a really high quality relationship, and a divine couple basically. And this is a power couple. And I feel like this is talking, and at the same time, the person that you were with is now with the person, and they're maybe happy together as well. And anything that they did together that would be, you know, that they might have tried to set you up with or whatever behind your back, is going to go back to them. It's going to go to them for sure. You're on your new journey with your, you know, with the Emperor. And they're on their new journey together. And so it all works out in the end. It's pretty cool, actually. Everybody's happy. And hopefully what they did wasn't so horrible that, that it's going to cause a lot of problems for them. But that's their problem, not yours. That's the energy moving on. So this is about embracing the new. And I like this reading because it's talking about so many different angles that this can happen. So, it's sometimes like when the world is the way it is right now, it's hard to see like the happy part of life and the part that works out. So this is really nice to see. It's kind of saying, it doesn't have to be an energy of where you have to stay angry or whatever. If everybody's like satisfied where they are, then good. That's the way you want it to be. And it doesn't mean you would want that for yourself, but it doesn't matter if they're happy with it and you're happy with yours. So long as what was done in the illegal energy is just left for them to deal with, who cares, right? That's the energy. So I'm going to clarify this with my oracle. And for those of you who, I have you have enough of the story here. Thank you for your time, and give it a like and comment if you receive some value out of it. I would really appreciate it. It gives, it really does help build my channel. I'm going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And this is something I started in 2007, and I completed the last painting. There's 64 of them in 2020. The numbers on these cards represent the paintings. as they're listed in my gallery on my website. The information is in the description box below, and I'll put them in the order that they appear here so that you can look them up if you're interested. This oracle is from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So here we go. So this is talking, quit worrying. You're about to be able to anticipate a good life. You are a child of God and you're loved, and God has seen, what you're going through. And if you're not imagining it, if you feel like, oh, I've been having all these wild dreams and they seem to be giving me an idea of how to get out of this situation kind of energy. That's not your imagination, that's your intuition talking to you. We have the hangman energy. And so the hangman hangs from the tree of knowledge, and he's upside down so that he can see the situation from all angles. And then when he has this aura bright around his head, then he comes down from the tree and he takes action. This is a really good energy to be in. It's talking about having that balance. In my oracle, this is a beautiful dragonfly that is standing like with her tail in the air, like a headstand. And she's on a beautiful echinacea flower. And echinacea is very healing for the heart too. And this is saying you're a star, in case you didn't know it. You're a superstar. And yeah, I feel like if you're worried because you might be implicated in anything these people have done, I feel like your innocence will be proven. So just, be okay. It'll work out. Don't be in this energy worrying about it. Get your facts together. Get your paperwork in order. All of that. We have the sun, and this is saying the sun is shining down on you, and like you're meant to be a star, and you're meant to be in this happy energy. This is the happiest card in the deck, and it's saying that it's shining light on the situation and bringing in all this really beautiful new energy for you on a new cycle. And we have intent. So sometimes we get in with partners and we have a good intention for each other, and then it changes. And so this is one of the karmic spaces. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and it's life. It's a really easy energy, like karmic space to fall into for a lot of people. Sometimes people think, oh, they're doing the right thing, and then it turns out when you look at it, oh, you should have just left it alone, let them pick up their own burdens kind of energy instead of trying to fix things for people. And then we have the magician energy. And so the magician is talking about having all the tools that you need and the ability to move forward in a really strong way. And we have that energy here. And so, see how this is an energetic upgrade. In my oracle, it's a beautiful golden dragonfly playing in a puddle from Peru. And this is, the shooting star is talking about having a really good attitude can take you a long way when you're in these troubled times like this. So, you can wish for something, but it means you don't have it yet. So when you're wishing for something, you have to put some of your energy into it, and having a good attitude is the perfect way to go, especially when it comes to fears around your base chakra. Base chakra is your survival kind of energy, and whatever happened, it was pretty rough here. And so this is the Libra energy. It's talking about, it's talking about being a mature adult and understanding what commitment is, like for marriage or partnerships of any kind, like in business and that. And sometimes, and even starting a family, sometimes we think we're mature enough and we're not. So it's not uncommon. Like this, you could have been really young and now you are, this is saying the Libra energy is when you're mature enough to make those commitments. And also it's ruled by Venus, which is about love. And so this is, and the scales of justice. So the justice basically here could just be as simple as being with the right partner, and your partner being with the partner that's more suitable for them. I feel like you've done a lot more growth than your partner did at the time. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up. And so it's, you know, taking, you know, that energy. And this is talking about this hardships that you've been through have put you in the Empress energy. And look at that's sitting right at the feet of the Emperor. And this is talking about, this is like what has brought you, this is what has made your vibration known to the Emperor. Because the Emperor is looking for an Empress, and there's not that many out there. You have to have a lot of life experience to be an Empress and an Emperor. And then usually, you know, it can be like the Queen of Swords represents the energy of learning things the hard way kind of energy. And then we have the lack of awareness. Yeah, and it's talking about, it's right on this heartbreak card. So this is, you know, never underestimate the power of willful ignorance. A lot of times, you know, they say love is blind, and I believe it. You know, so you have to learn sometimes the hard way from your mistakes. And sometimes, you know, we just don't want to see it because love is blind, and that's just, you know, and then we have to learn it the hard way, and other people can see it, but we can't. And so the problem with this is you can end up in a relationship where you're missing out on a lot of opportunities, and then they take off and whatever, and there you are, you know. But in this case, it worked out really well. We have the Cancer energy coming in. And when the signs come in, I'm not talking about the energy of a particular individual, like it's a Libra or it's a Cancer. I'm talking about the quality of that sign. So this is just talking about we all have each of the signs in us, and so we have the ability to learn from each of the signs, and then we don't have to maybe learn things the hard way. But this is reiterating that, you know, the moon energy is really intense right now because we had those eclipses. So pay attention to those cycles, and you're highly intuitive at that time, and your intuition combined with your logic keeps you out of this kind of energy, you know. Where you just can't see a solution. It's because you're too logical, and you're not adding your intuition and your logic together. And look at, we have the moon again saying, and it's on the 18th. So, you know, this could be past, present, future energy. So I just feel this is this new moon coming up in Pisces could be quite significant for that energy shifting, because we have right after that the world. And so that's the end of a cycle. And so this means you've accomplished all that you can in this cycle, and you need to move into this new cycle. And it's sitting right on the Fool, starting out on a new foolhardy journey. And so this is talking also about letting go of any of the anger and recognizing, you know, because anger will keep you acidic, and it will, anger is the gift that keeps on giving. So it can be passed down from generation to generation. It can be a powerful motivator, but it's not really the best way to motivate yourself. And then we have the judgment, and this is the universal judgment coming in, unfettered. This is God saying you deserve, and I like how it turned out to be a situation that was satisfactory for everyone. I like that. Because this card is also about forgiveness. And remember, this energy of this Pisces new moon is saying sometimes you have to look at the imperfections in yourself and others and accept them. And if you can do that, then you can be able to forgive and say, well, we were really immature, and we had no business getting married or whatever, because we were way too young and too immature. And you can see it. That doesn't mean that you condone the cheating or whatever, but you can understand how it happened, and you take responsibility for your end of it. And then you're able to heal and forgive, and then be able to open your heart up again to a new love coming in that's way more suitable for you. So I really like this reading. I do hope you also enjoyed it. Give it a like and comment if you have. Consider subscribing to the channel if you resonate. I would be honored if you did so. And I will be back with another daily reading tomorrow. Bye for now.